Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we cut through the noise and get straight to what matters.
Right.
Today, we're diving headfirst into the fascinating, ever-evolving world of smartphone camera technology. We're talking about the cutting-edge devices really shaping how we capture our lives.
That's absolutely right. And for this deep dive, our focus is squarely on the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max and how it stacks up against some truly formidable contenders. We're pitting it against giants like the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra, and, the exciting new dark horse, the OPPO Find X8 Ultra.
Right. And our mission here is simple: to help you, our listener, cut through all the marketing hype, understand the critical differences, and really figure out which of these sort of camera powerhouses aligns best with what you value most in mobile photography and videography.
Exactly.
We've pulled from a stack of comprehensive sources.
Right.
I mean, everything from in-depth hardware reviews, expert comparisons, right through to hands-on user experiences, trying to give you the fullest picture possible. Okay, let's unpack this then, starting with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. What are its core camera capabilities? What makes it stand out, maybe beyond just the raw megapixel counts?
Well, okay. At its heart, the iPhone 16 Pro Max comes equipped with a pretty versatile setup. You've got a 48MP primary camera, a 48MP ultra-wide, and then a 12MP telephoto lens offering 5x optical zoom.
Okay.
And all of this is powered by Apple's latest chip, the A18 Pro. Now, look, while the hardware might seem, familiar, you've seen the iPhone 15.
Yeah, similar on paper.
Exactly. The real magic is kind of under the hood. Apple has significantly enhanced its image processing with this new chip, and that leads to noticeably improved color accuracy and a wider dynamic range. So what that means for you is you get more faithful colors and better detail in both the bright highlights and the deep shadows. This isn't just a tiny step. It's really about refining how it captures light and color.
So the iPhone clearly holds its own then in that core camera experience. But, for those who truly live through their lens, capturing motion, capturing video is often paramount. Where does the iPhone 16 Pro Max really flex its muscles for video creators? What's the secret sauce that makes it really interesting there?
Yeah, that's a great question because this is where the iPhone 16 Pro Max truly shines. It consistently delivers while outstanding video performance. It captures clear, detailed footage, minimal noise even when the light gets low.
Impressive.
It boasts industry-leading results, 4K resolution, 60 frames per second variable frame rate, and it supports Dolby Vision format.
Dolby Vision. Can you unpack that a bit?
Sure. Think of Dolby Vision like a magic filter almost. It makes your videos pop with incredibly vibrant colors and dynamic contrast. It brings a truly professional, sort of cinematic feel right to your phone. And there's a new mode too, 4K at 120 frames per second. Excellent for that super smooth slow motion.
Oh, nice.
Perfect for those dramatic shots. Though, fair warning, you might notice a bit more noise in lower light settings with that mode. Stabilization and autofocus are also, frankly, top-notch. They ensure your footage stays smooth and clear even when you're moving around.
That's key.
Absolutely. In fact, DxOMark, the independent camera benchmark people.
Yeah, I know them.
They rank the iPhone 16 Pro Max highest in both video and ultra-wide video categories. That's not just a number. It really signifies a new benchmark for mobile filmmaking.
Okay. Beyond just the performance numbers, I'm interested in those pro features Apple keeps layering on.
Yeah.
How are they evolving the color science and, the actual user experience of shooting?
Right. Well, its HDR capabilities are, I'd say, best in class. You get a wide dynamic range, images free of artifacts, so no weird halos around bright lights or muddy, noisy dark spots. Just clean, natural photos. Color rendering is excellent, remarkably consistent across different conditions. And they've added new customization features like undertones, things like calm rose, amber, and mood options like vibrant or dramatic. These let you infuse your personal style right into the image capture, giving you more creative control up front, which is nice.
Yeah, less fiddling later.
Exactly. And they've also added a pressure-sensitive camera control button on the edge.
Oh, the new button. How does that work?
Well, it allows for quick mode switching, setting adjustments, even applying custom filters. It really streamlines the user experience, make those quick on-the-fly adjustments much easier.
Handy.
It is. Now, it's not dominant everywhere, let's be clear. Zoom and low-light photo performance improvements were, let's say, minimal. You might notice some image noise and a drop in detail at those mid-zoom levels. Macro shots, while solid, can show a bit more noise and maybe more background blur than some rivals, and its depth of field is slightly behind some competitors. It lacks those AI-driven sharpening features we're seeing elsewhere, which means, slightly less distinct subject separation in certain portraits compared to others we'll discuss.
Okay, so the iPhone undeniably sets a high bar, particularly for video creators.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said, the field is packed.
Absolutely.
Let's shift gears to one that's been making serious waves, generating a lot of buzz for its photography. The OPPO Find X8 Ultra. What makes this phone so ultra, especially with its camera system?
Right, the Find X8 Ultra. It features what OPPO calls a pentacamera system, and honestly, it's built around some truly massive sensors. This includes a huge 50MP 1-inch main sensor. Think of it like a much bigger window letting in significantly more light compared to, say, the iPhone 16 Pro Max or the Galaxy S25 Ultra.
A 1-inch sensor, wow. That's big for a phone.
It really is, and it directly translates to better performance, especially when the light gets challenging. It also boasts two 50MP periscope cameras. One's a 3x zoom, which has a sensor that's actually, get this, 300 times larger than the Galaxy S25 Ultra's 3x sensor.
300 times, seriously.
And a 6x zoom lens, which itself is over 30% larger than the iPhone 16 Pro Max's 5x sensor. And these aren't just digital crops. They're dedicated lenses performing remarkably well, even at night, capturing distant subjects with incredible clarity.
That's impressive zoom hardware. What else?
Well, rounding out the system are a 50MP ultra-wide camera and a unique 2MP true chroma camera.
True chroma, what's that for?
It's a small sensor, but its job is incredibly precise auto-white balancing and accurate colors. It actually segments the image into a grid, like 6x8,
Okay.
and white balances each region separately. The idea is to preserve really natural skin tones, even under tricky lighting.
Huh, that's clever. So, a lot of impressive hardware, but what does this all mean for, real-world photos? What kind of results are people actually seeing?
Well, for photography, the OPPO Find X8 Ultra has genuinely disrupted the market. It actually earned the global camera top spot on DxOMark with a score of 169.
Wow, number one.
Yep. Its photo portrait mode is outstanding. You get precise subject separation, a really realistic bokeh effect, that beautiful background blur.
Yeah, the creamy blur.
Exactly. Makes your subject pop almost like a pro camera. It shows accurate exposure, effective HDR, enhancing contrast across different lighting. Color rendering is consistently natural, vibrant, detail retention is high, excellent noise reduction, even in low light. The autofocus is reliable, precise, great at freezing motion for those action shots.
They're good for action, too.
Definitely. Strong motion freezing capabilities. And its zoom performance, outstanding in both photo and video. It keeps high detail across medium and long ranges, making it arguably the best current zoom performer on a smartphone right now. And its low light performance is particularly impressive. That big 1-inch sensor really works wonders.
Right, letting in more light.
Exactly. Captures sharp, natural-looking images, even in extremely dark places. DxOMark calls it the best overall performer in their database for low-light imaging. In low-light video, it performs exceptionally well, too, closely rivaling the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And its shutter speed compensation for capturing movement in low light is also better than some competitors, meaning less motion blur in dim conditions.
Okay, that is a truly remarkable list of strengths. Almost sounds too good to be true. So, as we know, even the best tech has trade-offs. Given all those strengths, what's the catch with the OPPO Find X8 Ultra?
Well, the main limitation is unfortunately a pretty significant one for most of our listeners globally. The OPPO Find X8 Ultra is currently only sold in China.
Oh, okay. That's a big catch.
It is. It makes it unavailable globally, despite these incredible camera capabilities. For those who could somehow get one, there are some minor limitations noted in reviews. Things like occasional color instabilities or image artifacts in really challenging scenarios, especially with fast motion.
Like weird color shifts or glitches.
Yeah, something like that. Unexpected shifts, minor digital distortions. Also, its relatively shallow depth of field on the main camera can be a factor for group shots. Unlike phones with variable apertures that can adjust to keep more faces sharp.
Right. So we've covered Apple's video strength, OPPO's surprising photography mastery. But the smartphone camera world is much bigger than just two phones.
Definitely.
What about the other big players, like the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra and the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra? How do they stack up? What do they bring to the table?
Absolutely. Let's start with the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. It's consistently praised, often called out for having the best screen on any phone.
The display, yeah. Always a Samsung strength.
Totally. Incredibly vibrant colors, deep blacks, super bright. Makes viewing photos and videos just a joy. Camera-wise, it's incredibly versatile, including that massive 200 MP wide lens.
200 megapixels. Did that really make a difference?
Well, it's not just about the raw number. It allows for incredible detail, yes, but also the flexibility to heavily crop photos after shooting. You can essentially get multiple compositions from one shot.
Ah, okay. Cropping power.
Exactly. It also offers advanced video features like long format recording.
Log recording. Like professional cameras.
Pretty much. It captures a flat image profile that holds onto vastly more detail, highlights, shadows, everything. This gives serious videographers maximum flexibility to color grade and fine-tune footage later in post-production. Really closes the gap with dedicated cameras.
Impressive. Any downsides?
Well, some reviews mention its AI features can be a bit hit or miss. Sometimes they lead to over-processed images or slightly unnatural enhancements.
Yeah.
Noise levels can also be noticeably higher in photos compared to the OPPO, especially in tricky light. Its aggressive highlight control can sometimes make shots appear a bit darker than they should, and portrait mode can occasionally struggle with focus, leading to less consistent background blur.
Got it. Now, what about the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra?
Okay, the Huawei. First, the big caveat. It notably does not support Google services.
Right, the Google situation. No Play Store, no Gmail out of the box.
Exactly. That's a deal breaker for many users, definitely something to be aware of. Despite that, its camera performance is truly outstanding, particularly for still photography, where it takes the top spot in some rankings.
So stills are its strong suit.
Very much so. Its 50MP main camera features a variable aperture, f1.6 to f4.2.
Variable aperture. Explain that.
It means the camera can physically adjust the size of the opening that lets light in, like the pupil in your eye.
Oh.
So you can have a wide aperture like f1.6 for low light and that nice blurry background for portraits, or a smaller aperture like f4.0 to get more of the scene sharp, like in the landscape, more control.
Interesting.
That, combined with its 1-inch type sensor, lets it perform exceptionally well in low light. Sharper images compared to the iPhone 16 Pro Max in some low-light scenarios. It also has an edge in telephoto shots, up to 5x pulls in distant subjects with impressive clarity.
Any weaknesses on the camera front?
Its macro mode, for those super close-up shots, can exhibit a bit more noise and background blur than the iPhone, so maybe not its strongest point compared to the competition.
Expert. We spent a lot of time on the cameras, which are amazing across these devices. But if we pull back, look at the bigger picture. What else should our listener really consider when choosing a flagship phone in 2025, beyond just image quality?
Yeah, that's crucial. Performance is one factor, though maybe less impactful day-to-day than it once was for most users. I mean, there's still a stark difference in raw processing power between budget or mid-range phones and these premium ones. We're talking almost a 350% difference on benchmarks like Antutu now, compared to maybe only 55% back in 2017.
Wow, that gap has widened massively.
It really has. Antutu, for those less familiar, just measures raw chip power. However, despite that huge gap, today's budget and mid-range phones are significantly better, faster, and better value than they used to be. Even their processors are honestly just fine for most people for everyday stuff, browsing, social media, maybe some late gaming. But these premium phones, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the Galaxy S25 Ultra, they pack top-tier chipsets like the Apple A18 Pro, Snapdragon 8 Elite. They ensure incredibly fluid performance for the really demanding tasks, like intensive gaming, editing 8K video on your phone, complex AI computations, that kind of thing.
Okay. And what about battery life and charging? Always critical.
Yeah.
Feels like charging speeds are almost outpacing camera tech sometimes.
You're not wrong. They're both vital. Look, both the iPhone 16 Pro Max that's around 4,685 milliluver and the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra with a bigger 5,200 milliluver battery offer excellent battery life.
Full day easily.
Yeah, easily capable of lasting a full day or more for most users on a single charge. However, the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra significantly outpaces the iPhone in charging speeds, massively. It boasts 100W wired charging and 80W wireless. Compare that to the iPhone's, 38W wired and 25W MagSafe.
Wow, 100 watts versus 38. That's a huge difference.
It's enormous. Think about it. The Huawei can go from nearly empty to full in a fraction of the time the iPhone takes, which raises an important question for you, the listener. How much does that raw charging speed really matter in your daily routine?
Good point.
Is it worth prioritizing over other features if you're rarely far from a charger or if you just top up overnight anyway? Something to consider.
Yeah.
So when making your choice, really prioritize what's most important to you. Is it that big screen? Is it camera quality? And even within that, do you lean towards stills, video, low light zoom? Or is it battery life and super fast charging?
Right.
Also, don't just dismiss those phones in the, say, $500 to $800 range. They often offer most of these flagship features for a lot less money. Consider your ecosystem too, your existing investment in iOS or Android apps and services. Switching is easier than it used to be, but there's still a convenience factor.
Okay.
And finally, if you possibly can, always try to get hands-on with the phone. Go to a store. Nothing beats actually feeling it, seeing how it sits in your hand, checking the ergonomics, hashtag tag outro.
What an incredible landscape of smartphone cameras we've journeyed through today. I mean, from Apple's clear video dominance to OPPO's really surprising photography prowess and these strong all-around contenders from Samsung and Huawei. It's clear we're in an amazing era for mobile imaging.
Indeed. I think what this deep dive truly highlights is just how specialized these devices have become. They're constantly pushing boundaries, but often in very specific areas. So it's really less about finding that single best phone overall, and much more about aligning a phone's unique strength, its particular talents, with your individual needs, your creative pursuits.
Yeah, finding the right tool for your job.
Exactly.
And, with the power to capture truly stunning images, truly cinematic video now literally sitting in the palm of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
How does this change the way you think about documenting your own life's moments? What new creative avenues might that open up for you?